reading a Q&A that was posted 3 hours ago by Man of Action about Ben 10, specifically Alien X questions. Yeah, so again, I recorded my first reaction to the video, but my mic levels were way too high, so time to record this again. Woo! Anyway, so first I have to explain who Alien X is, because I haven't done a video on him yet. Okay, so Alien X is Ben's most powerful transformation. He was first introduced during the season 1 finale of the first season of Alien Force. So yeah, he is a alien that oh, my brain's fried right now because I've already wasted so much time recording this, then editing a video that had bad audio, so I had to scrap it. Oh, my brain. Ouch. So, Alien X is Ben's most powerful transformation, the Omnitrix. He is a celestial sapien. He does not have a home world, and he is from an alternate dimension called the Forge of Creation. And there's a whole bunch of Alien X lore, and this is Man of Action just answered a bunch of questions about Alien X. This is going to get complicated and confusing. Alien X. Very complicated topic to talk about. I'm trying to think of things right now that you need to know before we get into this Q&A. Alien X has the ability to just simply warp reality. It can reverse time. It can destroy or it can recreate anything that has been destroyed. Alien X can do anything, but Ben does not have full control over Alien X because Alien X actually has 3 personalities. There's Ben, who is the voice of reason, Bellicus, who is the voice of rage and aggression, and Serena, who is love and compassion. And so they have to argue over what Alien X can or cannot do in order for Alien X to function. So most of the time, whenever Ben is Alien X is just a super still, just a piece of cardboard. So, like, Ben can't even move Alien X's muscles without arguing first with Bellicus and Serena. Anyway, so, like, this Q&A talks about a whole lot of how Alien X has to decide things and stuff, so you needed to know that real quick. But yeah, it doesn't actually talk about, like, their personalities and whatever, just, like, they have to agree or disagree on something in order for something to happen. Alright? Is this confusing yet? This is why I haven't done a video on Alien X yet. But yeah, let's get into this exciting Q&A before any other Ben 10 YouTuber has the chance to. Yeah. So, here's the beginning of the Q&A. This is Man of Action talking. Sunday, fun day for the fans. A couple of fans recently hit us up, and while we don't do this very often now, we took a little time to answer a few questions and revisit the history of one of Man Action's favorite creations, Ben 10. Question 1. Can the omnipotent beings, celestial sapiens, survive anything like Enervlatus, omniversal destruction, time destruction? Can celestial sapiens make themselves omniscients and omnipresents if they agreed? This is Man of Action talking. This is a great question. It's like the unstoppable force meeting the unmovable object. Celestial sapiens have almost godlike powers when they can agree on something, but Enervlatus is an aberration in the known universe. It's like anti-life. So, one celestial sapien pulled into Vladis's grip would definitely perish. But if a group of celestial sapiens got together and were able to agree internally and externally to combat the planet, they would be able to survive. The answer is the same for omniversal and timeline destruction. If celestial sapiens were aware that either was coming and formed a group that could agree in advance to bond their powers, they would survive. If they were not aware of the impending threat of destruction, they would not be able to agree in advance and would be undone by either phenomenon. This is Levi talking. So this basically says that, yeah, celestial sapiens can die. So, but it also says that if they were to work together, they actually become more powerful. That's cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. This is Man of Action talking. Part 2 of your question is bigger, but simpler. Celestial sapiens could try to become omniscient, but since they are aware that the enormous expenditure of power necessary to achieve an omniscient state could damage the universe, other celestial sapiens would intervene and prevent their ascension to omniscient status. So yes, possibly if they agreed, but it would never happen. They would never agree on that. Question 2. Duncan Rouleau confirmed Atomic X is not omnipotent because he is only half celestial sapien, but we know dividing omnipotence is still omnipotence. Does that mean fusions don't divide and only take limited amount of power from both aliens? So before we get into Man of Action's answer, I just want to say Atomic X is a fusion between Ben's two most powerful aliens, Alien X and Atomics. And that's all we really know about it. It appeared in 2 episodes, but we don't really know like the full extent to its power. So I'm really glad that Man of Action is now answering questions about Atomic X. This is Man of Action talking. You express your point well, but we don't agree with your basic premise. The premise of omnipotence is binary. Something either is omnipotent or is not omnipotent. There is no such thing as partial omnipotence. In the case of Alien X, the very presence of Ben's DNA in the mix means that Alien X is not omnipotent because Ben is not omnipotent. So I'm really glad that Man of Action finally pointed out that that Ben is not omnipotent, so Alien X can't be omnipotent. Nobody ever brings this up in an Alien X discussion, unbelievably. Obviously, if the Omnitrix is destroyed, or if Ben's destroyed, then Alien X is destroyed, which means Alien X is not omnipotent, unlike other celestial sapiens that may or may not be omnipotent. I'm not 100% sure, because I'm not a celestial sapien. Actually, now that I think about it, earlier, they were just talking about how, like, Anna Vladis can kill Alien X's or Celestial Sapiens. So, yeah, Celestial Sapiens in general are not omnipotent beings. They are just called omnipotent for some reason, even though they can die. Which means, if they die, then that means they are not omnipotent. But at the same time, like, Man of Action does kind of call them omnipotent. It's so weird. I told you guys, if I told you guys at the beginning of this video that this was going to get complex, it has definitely gotten complex with this answer. Question 3. Aren't Nalgians, 26-dimensional beings, the second most powerful alien race just after omnipotent celestial sapiens? Aren't celestial sapiens above dimensions? I mean, they are not bound by dimensions. Alright, Levi speaking here, so let me explain to you what the Nalgians are. And the answer is, nobody knows what Nalgians are. There is this one episode where one of their alien devices, the Nalgian Destructor, ended up on Earth. And then at the end of the episode, the Nalgian who owns the Nalgian Destructor took it back. And that Nalgian was saying about how they are a race of beings way higher than like Earthlings or whatever. They like the Nalgians are like beings literally made out of fire, and they're from like higher dimensions than like the third dimension and whatever. Very confusing stuff that it wasn't really explained in the show. Anyway, back to the Q&A. This is Man of Action talking. The universe is not fully explored, so there is no way to give a definitive ranking of most to least powerful species. That said, in the known universe that has been revealed in Ben 10, the Nalgians appear to be the second most powerful. But then again, there is a Nalgian Destructor, so they obviously can't be that powerful. Alright, this is Levi speaking. So they are basically implying that the Nalgian Destructor can destroy Nalgians, which that is not what it did in the show. According to the Nalgian that owned the Nalgian Destructor, it was just simply her daughter's baby toy. This is Man of Action talking. Is there anyone else between them and the Celestial Sapiens? Is there an entity or entities more powerful than Celestial Sapiens? We have to keep some secrets and surprises for the future. Free explanation points. For part 2, yes, Celestial Sapiens are extra-dimensional beings. So yeah, for the future, is this implying that one day Man of Action will go back to the original continuity of Ben 10? Maybe. I really do think that one day there will probably be a crossover episode between the original Ben 10 and the Ben 10 reboot. And I think that might also be the series finale now that I think about it. And it could go into these concepts a little bit, maybe. Who knows? The Ben 10 reboot hasn't really done anything like on this scale yet. So who knows? Question 4. Didn't the Celestial Sapiens reboot / redesign all 26 dimensions and beyond? So, what is this question referring to? There was a line in Ben 10 Omniverse where one guy basically said, yeah, the Celestial Sapiens just changed the universe all the time. And so he pointed to examples of the Celestial Sapiens changing the universe, and it very much implied that the Celestial Sapiens are the people that change the art style of the show. So every time when the art style changes, it's the Celestial Sapiens' fault. This is Man of Action talking. The Celestial Sapiens rebooted at least one dimension, but the very nature of a dimensional reboot is that one in existence, even the Celestial Sapiens making the adjustment, would remember the reboot. All beings inside the experience, not outside of it. So yeah, that answer will definitely be something I need to think long and hard about if I ever make a video talking about other dimensions within Ben 10, which I probably will because I love string theory and M theory. I don't actually know that much about M theory yet, but I just love the concepts of like multiverses and omniverses And yeah, the show is called Ben 10 Omniverse. So obviously I care about this subject, and this answer from Man of Action will help when talking about it. Final question, question 5. Can celestial sapiens hurt other celestial sapiens? If not, can decisive celestial sapiens like Starbeard hurt non decisive celestial sapiens? Or can they not because they are all equal? This is Man of Action speaking. This one is easy. Decisive celestial sapiens can indeed hurt non-decisive celestial sapiens if they are more powerful than their opponent on the level in which they are attacking. If not, they can be hurt in return. So yeah, that is the end of the Q&A. There is also a thank you for all the questions at the bottom of it, paragraph talking about how Man of Action's happy with all the questions. And at the very bottom of the page, they also have a link to the Ben 10 Wiki, Ben 10 Planet. So yeah, Man of Action, when they're talking about concepts in Ben 10, I guess they just like to point towards the Ben 10 Wiki, Ben 10 Planet, because it's a really good website and has a ton of information about Ben 10. So I guess they actually trust this fan site, which is really cool. So yeah, anyway, it's time for me to end this video. Goodbye, everybody. Woo! Ben 10 is amazing.